Hi everyone, it's Raina. So this video is for the full moon in Pisces, which is happening on September 6th, and it's at 2:03 a.m. Central Standard Time in America. And I do apologize for not posting this sooner. There were a lot of things happening in my particular world and just in general, I think, with the holiday of Labor Day and things like that. So what I want to just do is a very short video using maybe an oracle card or two and a tarot card. But first of all, bringing up some of the astrological associations with this full moon. Now remember that at the time of every full moon you have a direct opposition from the sun. So I believe the moon will be right below, well, it says 13 Pisces. I thought it was 12. Okay, I'll take them at their word, 13. So the sun obviously is at 13 degrees of Virgo, the opposite sign. And what is that polarity like? If you are a Pisces, what are you like compared to your opposite sign, Virgo? Okay, well, let's compare it. Pisces is a water sign. It's a mutable water sign. Virgo is also a mutable sign, but it's an earth sign. Virgo rules the 6th house, which deals with health, which deals with the workplace. And these are practical issues, right? These are like issues tied to the material plane. And then you have Pisces. Pisces is the ruler of the 12th house, and the 12th house is the house of mysticism, the house of the unconscious mind. It's the house of past lives, you know, versus your daily schedule, the 6th house. So this is like kind of an odd couple, and if there are any Pisces and Virgos out there who have come together as a couple, you probably, you know, on some level are the odd couple. And I think about the original Odd Couple and how one was very neat and one was very sloppy. And this is the Virgo person is going to be the stereotypical, I don't know if that was Felix, Tony Randall, and Jack Klugman. I don't remember who the other one is. Felix Unger. I can't remember. Maybe Felix was the sloppy one. I don't know. But the point is that we're talking about, when we talk about polarities, we're talking about extremes. And both of these things get explored at the time of a full moon. So it's very interesting because the issue for Pisces with this full moon is the real bringing up of, we would even say, pain, because Chiron is involved in this. And let me see exactly if Chiron, well, it's interesting because Chiron is not making any kind, it's not like in conjunction with the moon, apparently, because Chiron is a 27 Pisces, so it's really not part of this. I was listening to other astrologers and stuff, and they did bring up that fact that, oh, well, Neptune, we know Neptune is at 12 degrees, so we're talking about almost an exact conjunction. So we don't have to go there with Chiron, although I will say that Chiron is also in Pisces at a later degree. It's at 27 Pisces. I think in 2018 it will be going into Aries. But I don't know how fast Chiron moves. I don't know. I don't know if Chiron, maybe Chiron's going into Aries this year. Who knows? But anyway, let's see what conjunction. Okay, the moon is in conjunction, almost an exact conjunction with this full moon. So this is very spiritual, idealistic, and psychic. And so watch your dreams. And not necessarily just on the 6th, that the few days afterwards. See what comes up for you. And even though Chiron is not making a direct hit with this full moon or with Neptune, still look at, I'm just seeing, because sometimes the orb is really wide. Nah, it's not. And see what comes up for you in terms of issues surrounding things that perhaps you did not deal with in the past. You know, when I think of the 12th house, which is what Neptune rules, we're talking about repressed memories. And sometimes people are aware that they are not dealing with certain emotions, and they are okay with that because they figure that they'll take care of that one day. And this might be the time. Full moons tend to bring things up, even on the physical level. You can see, I don't know if you'd call it inflammation, but it's like things flaring up because it's like a purification. So just watch that. See if there's anything that comes up for you around the issue of things that you've kind of tamped down that now are in your face, that you have to kind of deal with. And this could even be with relationships, because again, you have that polarity with the sun, and the sun is in your, I'm talking about if you are if you're a Pisces, the sun is in your 7th house, and of course if you're a Virgo, this full moon is in your 7th house. Actually, if you're a Virgo, you could be seeing some kind of possible things coming to a head with your committed partnership, maybe an ending, maybe you find something out about that person that you didn't know, and that could be quite revealing. You might actually be better off if you are a Pisces, because this could be with the sun in the 7th house. It could bring this sense of I don't know, well-being to your committed partnership. But for all of us, we have this flavor of the metaphysical with Pisces. And, you know, the issues of twin flames, the issues of any kind of karmic baggage. And sometimes when we're dealing with difficult relationships, we often think, is this, you know, why did I attract this relationship? Is this something that I did? What can I do about this? And who knows, you may come up with some brilliant ideas. Let me see, I'm going to put my computer down to see if there's anything else about the... Well, you know, it's interesting that the sun and moon are both squaring Saturn. And yet there's beautiful trines, Mercury to Saturn, Venus to Saturn, and Mars to Saturn. So I think it's a great manifestation energy. But in terms of the emotions and in terms of your feeling of, I don't know, embodying whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, if you're trying to do something, you may feel this sense of restriction, but you still are able to act anyway. So it may be like fake it until you make it, because if you take action, you may see the benefits down the line, but you may feel a little bit funky at the time of this full moon. There's a brilliant trine between Mars and Uranus, which is interesting because Mars goes into Virgo on the same day. Actually, because it says, I was looking at the ephemeris, it said 0 degrees. I think it actually, Mars goes into Virgo today on the 5th, which I'm recording on the day Mercury goes direct, yay. So, because Uranus is in Aries, and it's at a later, or as it should be, latter degree of Aries. Of Aries. That means that it's close enough to Taurus where this Mars energy could be a trine, which is an easy aspect. So what's really awesome about that, you guys, is that you can do something and it could have this effect that is positive but totally unexpected. And because there's a whimsical quality, I think, of Pisces, with Pisces, where it's very idealistic and spiritual and gentle and trusting. And so if you feel called to do something positive during this time, you know, it may yield great results that you never even dreamed of, okay? So I just wanted to put that out there. And then let's see, what kind of cards? I've been doing these certain, like Doreen Virtues cards and everything. Well, you know what? I'm going to do it again. Maybe I'm being a little bit defiant. I don't know. But I'm going to use her cards again. I even feel like, I'm so rebellious, I feel like ordering all her decks. I only have one deck of hers. Okay. So let's just go like this. And then, which card? This one. Focus upon your strength. Apollo, okay. Wasn't Apollo the sun god? I'm trying to think of who the equivalent of Apollo is. Okay. Okay, that's one deck. I'm going to do... Now, this is from... Some of you, if you have tarot cards, you might have this Garden Variety Plaid. That is totally bizarre to me. I'm going to pick a... This is from the Rider-Waite deck. Queen of Swords. Okay. Pick one of those. I don't use my Rider-Waite deck. I always use my Morgan Greer deck. Okay, and then I'm going to pick Energy of the Oracle. Energy Oracle cards. Man holding a heart. I was thinking of Fabio. You know, that's... I don't know. My mind is very interesting. Okay, so Apollo. Let's look at Apollo and see what Apollo represents. I'm glad I got something different for a change. You know, this might not be Ascendant Masters. Okay. Oh, focus on your strength. Okay. This card reminds you to focus upon your strengths and not upon any perceived weaknesses. Your strengths could include your loving heart, pure intentions, people skills, hobbies, or something that you excel in. Even if your talents still need polishing, these are strengths and assets. The more you bless and appreciate your strengths, the stronger they'll grow. If you focus upon so-called weaknesses, they will grow. This card comes to you as a reminder of the importance of viewing yourself with compassion and love. Anytime you find yourself thinking or feeling poorly about yourself, focus upon your strengths instead. Additional meanings for this card. Use daily positive affirmations to lift your energy and faith. Speak of yourself in positive terms. Begin an exercise program to build and tone your muscles. This is a message of love or healing about a brother or brother figure. Apollo is the Greek sun god who's the son of Zeus and twin brother of goddess Artemis. Apollo is a powerful deity who can bring about the sunshine in your life, literally and figuratively. Renowned for his physical strength, Apollo can also act as a personal trainer to motivate your energy program. He can also help you gain emotional and intellectual strength. Okay. Well, you know, one thing, talking about this, and I actually forgot to mention this, with the Pisces full moon, one thing that could be brought to your attention is where you play the victim. Okay, because this is one of the shadow aspects of Pisces, is the martyr, is the person who is a victim of life circumstance. And of course, even if things happen that are obviously, you know, setbacks, you still have a choice on how you react to a particular situation. You can see the worst of the situation, or you can really look for the lesson and also the good qualities, the you know, the silver lining, whatever you want to call it. There are some people that have that knack more than others. Some people are more pessimistic than others. Some people are more positive. And with Pisces, sometimes there is pessimism, because I feel that, I'm talking about people that have a prominent Pisces in their natal charts, they may have had a difficult start to life. And that sets the tone, that sets the table for people to feel like that life is against them, or that they have, you know, what's the almost like a fatalism, a sense of like everything is preordained, and you know, learned helplessness, where you don't really act so much as you try to manage one crisis to another, instead of like being proactive about your life. And so I would add that, and focus upon your strengths. You know, there are too many people out there, I'm talking about in our society, that have that ability to communicate, that are trying to convince others of their helplessness, that they are victims of this, they're victims of that. And ultimately, those kinds of messages do not strengthen us, they weaken us. So we have to counter any message that tries to seduce you into a sense of victimhood, and say, no, actually, I have all these other strengths. I may not have that, but I have this, and I really believe in my ability to overcome challenges. I was going to say overcome all obstacles, and actually get a little statue of Ganesh, you know, the remover of obstacles, a little elephant in the Hindu tradition. Okay. The Queen of Swords was what I picked from Rider-Waite, and this is the feminine and masculine principle coming together, perfect for the Pisces full moon, because that's very emotional. And, you know, some of us can get swept away in that emotion to the point where logic goes out the window. The Swords is all about maintaining that logic, maintaining control over your emotions. It doesn't mean that you're not feeling your emotions. It's melding that sensitive part of you with the logical part, so that you don't get swept away with, you know, your emotions, but that you can use them and become that compassionate person, but still retain the logic that is necessary in order to function effectively in the world and make good choices, of course. And then the last card we have is Fabio. I can't wait to see what this means. Man holding a heart. Number 45. Male dealing with family, love, or emotions. This tender man sits with flowers all around, holding a heart in his hand. For a man, this signals a greater clarity about emotions and their purpose in your life. There could be a more balanced approach to family and love at this time, even if these have been confusing experiences for you in the past. For some, this card upright could signal the presence of a new man in your life, one who tends to be more thoughtful and aware. Whether or not this man is a love interest or a friend, he brings a high intention to help where personal projects, family, or home issues are concerned. You know, I immediately thought in the tarot of the Knight of Cups. And so that's always a nice kind of a thing. It's like, and that does connect with a water sign, where it's someone who is sensitive, a man who is sensitive, and depending on whether you're looking for that kind of a partner, I think that there's always a great situation happening when men are able to express their emotional side. And I think it's happening more and more that, you know, with the younger generation, that men are, or young males, are not as macho in that sense where they feel less than if they show any kind of tender emotions. And that women appreciate that quality in a man. I think that's one thing too. That if you're a woman looking, who is attracted to men, that you don't get turned off to a man who cries, who shows emotion, and think that it's weakness. Because it totally isn't. And it can be the best thing you ever did to be involved with somebody like that. So anyway, especially at the time of this Pisces full moon, there may be a lot of emotions flowing about. So whether you're, you know, I actually think this could be about women too. Women are socialized now to act like men. And maybe you need to express some emotions, vulnerability specifically. And maybe you've been holding back and it's affected a relationship that is important to you because you're trying to be so strong, and maybe you're trying to do it all. And definitely with a full moon in a water sign like Pisces, it could be a time where it's just a release of like, I don't have to do this anymore. I don't have to be the rock for everybody else. Sometimes I can allow others to be the rock for me. Okay, you guys. Well, enjoy this Pisces full moon, and God bless everyone. Bye.